Welcome to Hannity, and tonight there is, frankly, no other way to put it, but America is in rough shape, and Joe Biden, your president, he's pretty much the one person you can blame. Now, our soldiers, they are under attack. Biden does little to respond. Cargo ships are targeted by terrorists, while Joe just looks the other way. The southern border has been an unmitigated disaster for 3+ years, and Biden, he just pretends that all is fine. The economy is in an inflationary nightmare, but the president says it's never been better. But these are just a few of the very serious problems that the president now has to face ahead of 2024. And Biden will also need to contend with a looming impeachment proceeding that has been credibly accused of public corruption. He has been. And the evidence of wrongdoing, that is substantial, although the media, as usual, just wants to cover for all things Biden. Now, the bottom line is Vice President Joe Biden took official actions that benefited his son and his son's foreign business partners. At the very same time, the Biden family has been making millions from these very same foreign partners, some of our top geopolitical foes. And according to Hunter, a lot of that money went to the big guy himself. Hunter, meanwhile, is an accused tax cheat, is now facing felony charges with speculation that FARA violations implicating his father could soon be on the way. Now, naturally, after years of nonstop bogus witch hunts against Trump, well, many Democrats now, they have suddenly lost their appetite for impeachment. Russia collusion truther Jamie Raskin is now reportedly working behind the scenes on Capitol Hill, begging Republican lawmakers not to move forward with proceedings. Now, put simply, Democrats, they are in a state of panic. The vast majority of you, the American people, nearly 70%, believe that your president, Joe Biden, illegally and unethically was involved in his son's business deals. Now, that number is only going to get worse with the bright lights of an impeachment proceeding. Now, sadly, Joe doesn't really seem to have the ability to defend himself. And as Trump said, it's not even clear that Biden even knows he's alive. So today, he looked totally, completely, utterly confused, confounded, unsure of his surroundings yet again at an event in Philly. During his brief remarks, Biden failed to address the most pressing issues of our time and instead filled time with one of his very favorite tall tales about his wife, a house fire, and his beloved Corvette. You know, the one that was next to all the top secret classified documents, but they didn't rate his house. Take a look.
It also saved my home and my wife's life. When I was away, it was the last day that the most famous guy doing Meet the Press in Washington, D.C., and I was doing the program. And what happened was there was a lightning struck a little pond behind my house, hit a wire, came up through the basement of my home, and 3 stories, and the smoke literally ended up being that thick, literally that thick. You've seen it. You guys have seen it. I wasn't there, and my wife was there, and my dog and my cat, and my '67 Corvette. But all kidding aside, they saved my wife. Got her out, saved my home.
Now, according to authorities, the fire was tiny. It was very small. It was contained to the kitchen. It was put out almost immediately without any injuries, minimal damage to the house. But that has not stopped Joe Biden from telling that rambling, embellished version of that story now, dozens of times since taking office. But it gets even worse. You're going to love this on Friday. A big number. Well, let's just say it got the best of Joe. Take a look.
Look, I own a couple shotguns. I haven't shot them in a while because I usually just make target practice, skeet shooting. And all the studies show, by the way, people get from point A to point B faster on a train than their car. They take the train. They take the train. Over $1.3 billion. They started off making fun of it, calling it Bidenomics. Well, guess what? It is Bidenomics. We have a lot more to do to put our plan that's already paying off. I made a commitment that nobody making less than $400,000 a year, which is way above what I ever made until I became president. But look.
By the way, he hasn't mentioned Bidenomics in over 100 days. Now he's back to the lie about couples making $400,000 a year. We have debunked that lie, too. Now, in case you missed the important part, let me read it to you verbatim. Over $1,300,000,300,000,000,000. Hello? I need a calculator. Somebody help me. Now, bad news for Joe. His trouble with numbers is now extending to poll numbers. Look at Michigan. Joe is losing by a whopping 10 points to Donald Trump. Look at a CNN poll. In Georgia, Biden is down by 5 in a hypothetical matchup against Trump. And according to a brand new Wall Street Journal poll, Trump is beating Biden by 4 points nationwide. By and large, the American people feel betrayed by Joe's failed policies, and by the way, do not believe that he's mentally capable of even carrying out the duties of president. One Democratic pollster is citing all these numbers as, quote, grim, but be warned, Democrats do have something up their sleeve, and that is a secret weapon, so to speak, and her name, they're now bringing on the services of Hillary Rodham Clinton. According to reports, the Biden campaign is now ready to deploy Hillary to help the president's sagging poll numbers in campaign. That's the same Hillary Clinton that lost badly to Donald Trump in 2016 and then, of course, said it was an illegitimate election. Nobody seemed to care when she said it. The same Hillary Clinton that never bothered to even visit Wisconsin, the same Hillary Clinton who has been described as toxic to voters. And, of course, we are very early in the election season. The first primary has yet to take place, but this is not good for Joe Biden. It's not good for the Democratic Party. And every week it seems to get worse and worse and worse. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.